You're watching WYLN TV 35. Now, from the area's leader in live local news, this is WYLN News, the area's #1 source of live local news and information in Luzerne, Schuylkill, Carbon, and Columbia counties. WYLN News starts now.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us on WYLN News. I'm Philip Kaufman, filling in for Julia Wiegand. We begin tonight at the Wilkes-Barre-Scranton International Airport, where a plane crashed earlier this afternoon. Crews raced on scene after reports of a plane down went across emergency airwaves just after 12:30 this afternoon. Firefighters worked to put out the fire using flame-suppressing foam and other means. Airport Director Carl Beardsley stated that the plane crashed shortly after takeoff at the north end of the taxiway for the airport's runway 422. He also confirmed that the pilot, identified as Andy Travniak, was the only person on board and sadly passed away in the crash. Travniak was practicing to perform at the Great Pocono Raceway Air Show this weekend, but it's not known whether the crash will impact the schedule. The airport reopened to air travel and commercial flights were not being affected. The Federal Aviation Administration and the National Transportation Safety Aviation were en route to investigate the cause of that crash in Avoca. We've got the highlights from last night's school board meeting as Hazleton area prepares to return to 100% in-person learning on September 7th. There was a larger attendance last night as the Hazleton Area School District held its last meeting prior to students returning back to the classroom. Superintendent Brian Uplinger spoke with us afterwards on what was discussed and approved.
We had 4 teachers that were hired permanently for the upcoming school year. We also had a number of long-term subs that were hired to fill some positions that we have that are vacated by people that we moved into interventionist positions throughout the school district to try to get back some of that learning loss that some of our students have endured throughout the course of this past year and a half.
And of course, the major discussion and what many of those in attendance addressed during public comment was the district's mask mandate.
We did talk about the protocol of what we're going to follow here in the district, and that would be coming back with masks on, mandating masks for all staff and students. It's not the most popular way to go. We don't want to shut down. We want to come back at 100%. We want to get our kids back in a classroom where they belong. So all of that said, coming back with masks, mandating masks is really, like I said prior, is really a small price to pay to get the kids back in the classroom and get them back learning and help them with any typical or unusual learning loss that they may have experienced over the course of the year.
The district will require all students, staff, and visitors to wear a mask while in their schools or offices. Thankfully, civility stood strong and opinions were respectfully shared and heard.
It's so important to listen to the public and to hear those opinions because everybody is different, and we heard that earlier too. Everyone has their opinion. Everybody has a different way to think, and that's okay. So it's really important to listen and to take everything into consideration when making these decisions.
There are 2 options for parents and guardians to make regarding their children: in-person learning or virtual learning. In-person students K through 12 will learn from the school building or buildings they're assigned to. Those virtually learning in K through 5 will utilize Microsoft Teams, and those 6 through 12 will utilize the Hazleton Area Virtual Academy.
We certainly don't want to pull the masks off, but we want to put them in place just as a precaution at this point. We can always take them away. Things get better, situation improves, they can come off and they can go away, which I'm hoping that we can do sooner rather than later. But it's very important to listen to the public. It's very important to hear those opinions. So we just want to make sure that we're doing the right thing, and it's really important to hear from the community.
Parents and guardians are asked to email Mrs. Medic at medicm@hasdk12.org with their decision and include their name, their child's name and school, and an appropriate phone number. And as the district prepares to enter the school year, they're also still on the lookout for hires.
We're definitely looking for food service. We're looking for paraprofessionals. We're looking for secretarial help. There are still some special education positions, teaching positions that are available. So please go to our website and look at the link. All of the employment opportunities are listed constantly. We always post any new updates are available there.
Visit hasdk12.org for the latest updates, the school calendar, and more information. Emergency crews were called to a vacant house that collapsed Wednesday morning in Schuylkill County. The abandoned home at 521 West Penn Street in Shenandoah collapsed and fell on a neighboring unoccupied structure. Officials say the house has been falling apart and leaning for years. Fortunately, no injuries were reported in that collapse and that vacant home in Shenandoah. A Luzerne County man accused of being a violent sexual predator was sentenced to prison on Thursday. 20-year-old Chance Joshua Alba of Kingston was arrested in December of 2019 for allegedly being involved in an online solicitation of a minor. He was arrested again in February of 2020 for having unlawful contact with 2 boys and possessing child pornography. Alba's mother said that her son was diagnosed with autism spectrum disorders and was bullied in school. Luzerne County President Judge Michael Vo sentenced him to serve 4 to 16 years in prison, followed by 5 years probation. Lehigh Valley Hospital Hazleton is currently providing COVID-19 vaccines to people ages 12 and older, as well as third vaccine shots for those with compromised and weakened immune systems. The FDA and CDC recommend a third shot of the Pfizer or Moderna vaccine for those with a range of conditions, including organ or stem cell transplants, advanced HIV, and patients currently undergoing cancer treatment. LVH Hazleton also updated its COVID-19 vaccine clinic hours. Effective Monday, August 23rd, the clinic will be open Mondays and Wednesdays from noon until 4 p.m. You can schedule an appointment at lvhn.org or by calling 833-584-6283. Walk-ins are also accepted at any LVHN COVID-19 vaccine clinic. State officials are encouraging residents to roll up their sleeves and donate blood. There's a dire need for all types, and WYLN's Julie Stefanovich has why.
The Pennsylvania Department of Health has joined forces with blood banks throughout the state to get the word out about the critical shortage of blood both here and nationwide.
Blood donations are a critical and integral part of healthcare delivery. And many people who have major surgeries or find themselves in traumas, car accidents, natural disasters, or have chronic illnesses may need blood transfusions.
Currently, all types of blood are needed, especially O negative, which is universally compatible for patients with any blood type. Donating blood is a relatively easy process with minimum requirements, and one blood donation can save up to 3 lives.
You can go to the nearest blood donation center to donate as well, as long as you're in good health, 16 years or older, and weigh a minimum of 120 pounds, you're eligible to donate.
The pandemic is partly to blame for the decrease in donations.
Collecting and processing blood during COVID has been very difficult due to the measures that we've been required to take to ensure the safety of our donors and our workforce.
There are several other factors contributing to the urgent need for blood.
So consequently, the demand for blood needed to catch up on postponed surgeries, treat an aging population, and our inability to improve our blood inventory is having a negative impact on the blood supply. And also, because the blood supply is attached to the quality of health care, I believe that the quality of health care is beginning to diminish when blood is not available.
Interested donors can sign up to give blood by contacting their local blood banks. More information can also be found by visiting the Department of Health's website. Reporting for WYLN News, I'm Julie Stefanovich.
Thank you, Julie. Coming up on WYLN News, your furry friends of the week, plus Ohio State and their chances against Oregon and Michigan. But first, we'll take a look at our 5-day forecast brought to you by the WYLN Weather Kids. We'll be right back.
My name is Charlie. I am 8, and the weather forecast for tomorrow will be raining.
We We want your child to be our WYLN Weather Kid. Your child can be our feature weather reporter of the day on WYLN News and WYLN social media posts, just by using your smartphone or any video recording device. It's easy. All ages are welcome, from toddlers to teens. To find out how, go to the weather section of WYLNTV.com or look for our post about it on the WYLN News Facebook page. Submit your Weather Kid video today.
Sacco Chiropractic, East Broad Street in Hazleton has the health care you've been waiting for. Whether it's a chronic issue or something new, Sacco Chiropractic has the most up-to-date techniques and therapies to help with any ailment. From his days of playing football with the Cougars and then in college, Dr. Scott Sacco has an elite understanding of sports injuries and how to correct them. Whether you are an athlete, a weekend warrior, or a grandmother, we can help with multiple issues. Call today to see why relief is super, man. 570-497-4150.
There's no better place to shoot than Whitetail Preserve. Their skeet trap and sporting clay fields are professionally designed and all stations are handicapped accessible. Whitetail Preserve has resident shooting instructors certified by the NRA in shotgun, rifle, pistol, home safety, and personal protection in the home. Whitetail can also cater any size event, whether it be a private party, corporate event, or wedding. Call 570-455-4251 extension 1378 for more information.
Hey guys, this is Ray Merrill from Blaze Alexander Mazda, Greater Hazleton. Come check this out. It's the season of discovery. 2021 Mazda CX-30s, got them. 2021 Mazda CX-5s, got them too. 2021 Mazda CX-9, got them. 2021 Mazda CX-30 for 0.9% for 63 months. 2021 Mazda CX-5, 0.9% financing for 63 months. Blaze Alexander Mazda Greater Hazleton has inventory. Check them out at blazemazdahazleton.com.
If you've been thinking about adopting a pet, well, there's no time like the present. So, check out the SPCA of Luzerne County for all breeds, shapes, and sizes of pets. This shelter has some more furry friends for you to check out this week. Everyone, meet Shadow. He's a senior boy looking for his new home, and remember, senior dogs are just as great as other dogs. He loves jumping in your lap and giving kisses and would do best in a quiet home with no small children. And up next is Panda. She's a sweet girl who's been at the shelter since November and would like to find her new home with loving humans. Could you be the one to bring this panda bear home? Call 570-825-4111 to come on down and check out these featured pets and more. You may just meet your new best friend and give them a well-deserved forever home. WYLN's all-time OT hero, Marty Burns, has the in-depth analysis of what's happening on and off-season across our viewing area. Joe Flanagan's back this week to talk college football. So, let's talk sports. Here's part 5.
And then in 9 days, a team that's going to be coming to Columbus looking for respect from the Pac-12 that I don't think gets a lot of respect nationally the last couple of years, talking about Oregon.
They're the team, if you look at it, because I don't think they play USC.
I think so.
I think they're out. They don't play USC. So if Oregon wins that game, that's a game for them that ball can start rolling downhill. And, I think it's going to be a year for the Pac-12 to get somebody in the college football playoff. Because I don't know if, besides Oregon, have they been the only team in it? Was Washington in one year?
I think Washington was in 1 year.
But I mean, legitimately, I really think Oregon could be that team this year.
And we talked about them when we were talking about Penn State's schedule. October 23rd, Ohio State goes to Indiana. If Indiana wants to be somebody considered as a football power, that's a game they got to get at home against Ohio State. Then the Buckeyes, as we talked about, welcome Penn State. And can Jim Harbaugh, November 27th, in the Big House, finally beat Ohio State?
That's the game, Marty. I mean, to Michigan, no matter what Jim Harbaugh does before that, if they're 11-0 going into that game, if they lose that game, he's still on the hot seat. Yeah. Because that game, that team upstate, they call them, or that, whatever.
That other team.
That other team from wherever is that is their game. That's their rivalry, and Ohio State has just dominated that rivalry.
And be sure to check out this week's entire half-hour and season finale of Let's Talk Sports, Saturday at 10:30 a.m. and 2 p.m., and again Sunday at noon and 5:30 p.m. Coming up on Rav and Run's News Choice, Your Week in Review, courtesy of our Julia Wiegand. Plus, leading the way into this week's final segment. Stay with us.
Hey, Dr. Alex here with another Feel Good Friday. Today we're talking about metabolic syndrome. Where does it come from? What is it? Well, it comes a lot from your waistline, actually. So metabolic syndrome is when you're producing so many inflammatory molecules in your body that you can't help but be inflamed all the time. This inflammation is dangerous, it's painful, it's not healthy. Commonly, this is from your fat cells. If you have enough fat cells in your body, they're all producing these inflammatory molecules. Now, how much fat is too much? Well, we can't use your weight as a good measure. It's just BMI is broken. It's not a good system. The best system that we have available that's simple is waistline. As a man, if your waist is over 40 inches, or as a woman, if your waist is over 35 inches circumference, then you're constantly producing too many inflammatory markers. It's impossible to fight it. Now, even if you're under there, you still have to eat well, but keep that waistline under 40 or 35 and feel good.
Soar to new heights. Experience your favorite Disney stories in new ways. Get closer to the magic than ever before at Disney on Ice presents Mickey's Search Party. Coming to Mohegan Sun Arena at Casey Plaza August 19th through 22nd. Visit DisneyOnIce.com for show details and get your tickets today.
If you're looking for an affordable pre-owned car or truck, Chura's Auto Sales has a great lineup of clean, dependable, and quality vehicles. Stop in 610 North Broad Street, West Hazleton, 570-454-7229.
PPW Nation, get ready for the best of PPW Season 2. Join Paul Bowe, E. Julius Kuiper, Alexander Bravado, Tom Mitchell, and Alex Watt as we take you down memory lane and relive some of the best PPW matches of all time. Saturdays at 5 p.m., Sundays at 10 p.m., only on WYLN.
Monday. We started the week off in the national light, where the Taliban took control of Afghanistan as just 2 weeks remained until the U.S. was set to complete its troop withdrawal from the two-decade war. The militant group previously held control of the country in the late 90s until a U.S.-led invasion ousted the insurgents from power. In the past few days, the Taliban made its way across the country, and the Western-backed government that's run the nation for the past 20 years has collapsed. Afghans fearing for the future raced to the airport in the capital of Kabul. Videos of the chaos were emerging on social media showing several of the thousands that stormed the tarmac clinging to a military jet as it took off and falling to their deaths, leaving a total of 7 dead. 72-year-old Afghan President Ashraf Ghani fled the country Sunday, with what the Russian embassy in Kabul said Monday to be 4 cars and a helicopter full of cash. The deposed president took to social media to state that he fled the country to prevent, quote, a flood of bloodshed. His whereabouts remained unclear until Wednesday, when the United Arab Emirates Foreign Ministry of Foreign Affairs and International Corporation confirmed in a brief statement that the UAE has welcomed him and his family into the country on humanitarian grounds. Meanwhile, President Joe Biden addressed our nation around 4 Monday afternoon amid the chaos, stating that he stood, quote, squarely behind his decision to withdraw, and that he would rather take criticism over the fallout in Afghanistan than leave the decision to another president. Tuesday. Early morning flames broke out at a home in Briar Creek Township near Berwick. A call came in just after 4 Tuesday morning for a working structure fire at a home in the 100 block of Foundryville Road. Fire crews battled the blaze and knocked it down, but the flames gutted the second floor enough to cause severe damage. One man refused to leave and had to be physically removed from the burning building while trying to save the family's dogs. Another was put in handcuffs after trying to get into the house while crews were still working. One of the men was reportedly smoking upstairs and dropped a cigarette, which ignited some clothes, and the fire chief on scene at the time said the fire appeared to have started accidentally the way it was described. Everyone inside at the time made it out uninjured, but sadly, the family's 2 dogs did not. A state police fire marshal was called in to determine the cause of that early morning fire in Briar Creek Township. Wednesday. Hazleton City Police are investigating a theft that occurred back on August 5th. According to police, the individuals approached a 96-year-old man in the 500 block of Moyer Avenue and offered him jewelry. An unidentified female then proceeded to place a chain on the man's neck and remove the chain he was wearing at the time. That's when the group fled the area in what appeared to be a black Chrysler minivan with a possible Georgia registration plate. Police are still attempting to locate the vehicle and identify the individuals involved, so anyone who spots it or has any information is still being asked to contact 911. Thursday. Authorities in Schuylkill County and the Tamaqua Area School District are looking into a video allegedly involving a school district employee. The Luzerne County predator catcher, Musa Harris, filmed a conversation with a man linked to the school district back on August 7th. The encounter happened at the Turkey Hill and Hazel Township after the unidentified man agreed to meet with what he thought was a 15-year-old. Superintendent Ray Kinder said the district's aware of the allegations and are acting accordingly to established procedures. Tamaqua police are also investigating the incident, and charges may be filed. Friday. A plane crashed earlier this afternoon at the Wilkes-Barre-Scranton International Airport. Crews raced on scene after reports of a plane down went across emergency airwaves just after 12:30 this afternoon. Firefighters worked to put out the fire using flame-suppressing foam and other means. Airport Director Carl Beardsley stated that the plane crashed shortly after takeoff at the north end of the taxiway for the airport's runway 422. He also confirmed that the pilot, identified as Andy Travnicek, was the only person on board and sadly passed away in the crash. Travnicek was practicing to perform at the Great Pocono Raceway Air Show this weekend, but it's not known whether the crash will impact the schedule. The airport reopened to air travel and commercial flights were not being affected. The Federal Aviation Administration and the National Transportation Safety Aviation were en route to investigate the cause of the crash in Avoca. That's it for your week in review, here on WYLN News.
All Care Home Care, providing quality in home care since 1986. Call and see how their team of licensed physical therapists, skilled nurses, speech, and occupational therapists can provide you with exceptional service in the comfort of your own home. They also offer dietitian, home health aide, and medical social worker services. You have a choice in your health care. For safe, friendly, qualified care, call All Care Home Care today and let their team begin taking care of you and your loved ones.
Soar to new heights. Experience your favorite Disney stories in new ways. Get closer to the magic than ever before at Disney on Ice presents Mickey's Search Party. Coming to Mohegan Sun Arena at Casey Plaza August 19th through 22nd. Visit DisneyOnIce.com for show details and get your tickets today.
WYLN programming is online all the time. Visit our website at WYLNTV.com to check out archive shows and a live stream of our broadcasts. And don't forget to visit all of our social media pages for breaking news, weather, and sports. You can also head directly to our YouTube page for all our programming at youtube.com/WYLNTV35. Subscribe and ring that bell so you get notified every time there's a new show available online. There's no better place to shoot than Whitetail Preserve. Their skeet trap and sporting clay fields are professionally designed and all stations are handicapped accessible. Whitetail Preserve has resident shooting instructors certified by the NRA in shotgun, rifle, pistol, home safety, and personal protection in the home. Whitetail can also cater any size event, whether it be a private party, corporate event, or wedding. Call 570-455-4251 extension 1378 for more information. WYLN CA35's children's programming is designed with the specific purpose of serving the educational and informational needs of children. In compliance with FCC guidelines, a copy of the Children's Programming Report is on file for public inspection at WYLN 1057 East 10th Street in Hazleton, Pennsylvania during normal business hours. To view the report online, visit fcc.org.
WYLN's going behind the scenes to learn more about the lives and goals of our local leaders. So, Mary Malone's leading the way again to wrap up this week's series.
And welcome back to this week's final segment of Leading the Way with Hazleton Chamber President Mary Malone. Mary, looking toward the future, what's in store? What's going on? Is anything ongoing, future projects or goals that you're hoping to accomplish?
So I would say we're still figuring out what the new normal looks like. I can tell you it's more interconnected with our chamber partners in Luzerne County for sure. And the other element that I think will continue to stay specifically in our area is the bilingual piece, and continuing to connect the bridge and the entrepreneurial piece. So we have some workforce development. We're still going through the different rescue packages as far as whether it's PPP or things like that. And have continued whether to do the education, help answer questions, make sure that small businesses were aware of what was out there for them. So to truly be continue to be a central hub, and then to stay on the forefront of what our community and our business community in particular needs to be successful.
And I can vouch for this most definitely. I mean, throughout the entire pandemic, the Chamber has been on it. They've been involved. They've been going out of their way to make sure that the community can maintain a healthy lifestyle and while living in this community.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. And I might be the face, but there are from volunteers to other organizations. And I think that has to go back to our community. I feel blessed to be able to live, work, and that I raised my two daughters here in this community. There are so many gems. And it starts, like you said, I love this, that you're checking into the backstories because people have really interesting backstories. And I think, again, a general caring and a get it done type of attitude, and that we all get through it together.
All right. All right, everyone. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for sticking with us all week. And an even bigger thanks to Mary for coming in to give us all a little insight through this chat.
Thank you.
Have a great weekend, everyone. Best of luck, best of life. Good night.
That's the news. Remember, the source matters now more than ever. Catch all the latest on our Facebook page, YouTube page, or at WYLNTV.com. Stay with us. A look at today's weather is next, right here on WYLN TV.